through the top 10 based on, our opinion, of course, and everything like that. Your top 10 is probably going to vary. But we're going to go through our top 10 trailers from E3. And our first one is actually going to be probably an unpopular one. But the one that we kind of all agreed on was Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And Hakeem, why were you so interested in this?
When I first saw it, I guess the main person that you're playing as, it looks kind of cute, friendly or whatever, has that curious nature about him. So it kind of feels like the story or the journey that he's going to go through would be kind of, the same thing. Very curious, adventurous, maybe something, very exciting is going to happen. And I just felt like, this would be, a pretty awesome game to play.
Okay. And I get that. For me, it's like, this is a horrifying game because like you see some of the monsters show up in here, like this huge freaking spider. And I'm like, I'm going to die immediately. Like the second I start playing this game, the second the monster shows up, I'm probably going to die. But there's something about that is just kind of fun in an instance, because like it's probably not going to be like as hard as I'm thinking it's going to be. Because like I look at it, I'm just like, I'm like this little thing and there's this huge monster. I'm like, you want me to fight that?
When I first saw this, it definitely reminded me of like someone taking Little Big Planet and giving it to the creator of like Spirited Away and developing like this horrific nature type game. But like I'm with Hakeem, like I'm kind of ready to see like how this curious creature is going to pan out, and seeing the different trials you got to go through, being like yay big versus like, right here, like this like fire breathing, like worm serpent.
Yeah. Like, no, it's like, it's like I see that, I'm just like, nope.
My number 9 would be Spiritfarer.
Okay.
That's my number 9. And I don't know if it's the father in me, but I felt like this would be like a pretty like cool game. Like I would want my daughter to play this game. It kind of has that Adventure Time and Steven Universe vibe to it a little bit.
I was gonna say, yeah, I can
was
see
like,
that.
I would probably enjoy playing this game myself. It just looks really cool. Maybe it looks like it has some type of loving aspect to it. So, and I'm like, yeah, this would be a great game.
Okay. Yeah, that'd definitely be a cool game for you and your daughter to play. I could see y'all playing together, especially when she's old enough to start playing and stuff like that. I could definitely see that.
Have her on the couch. She's like, no, just wait right there. Watch Daddy play, man. I'll be more into it.
Dad, let me do it.
Give her the controller that's not even plugged up.
I'm actually going to pick probably another unpopular one, but I would actually pick Minecraft Dungeons. Now, if you know anything about me and Minecraft, I kind of avoid these games like the plague because I know exactly how addicting these games are. And I feel like if I ever truly got into Minecraft, I would never see the light of day. Like I would legitimately turn white. And there's no sun or anything. I'd be like Joseph right here. Just like completely like pale and everything like that. Eyes is all like red and stuff. I just gotta build this one last thing. Like I am terrified of Minecraft, but here everything is already built. It just looks like a fun little thing to do. It's like Dungeons and Dragons kind of RPG kind of feel to it and everything like that. I do want to go see the escapades of the Team Chaos group play Minecraft. They play Minecraft on the Team Chaos channel. That'll be in the description down below. Shameless plug there. But that looks like something, like I said, everything's already built for you. You just have to kind of survive. And it's kind of like a kid's game. And I get that. Like, a lot of kids will probably be into this and everything like that. had the feel of just like one of those games you just pop in and you just have like, you know, you're not really 100% invested in it, but you're just having fun. You know, you're just kind of going through and doing some stuff, you know, kind of unwinding a little bit. You know, it's like, you know, sometimes you need to unwind and with tanks and guns and stuff like that, shoot stuff, blow stuff up and everything like that. And sometimes I just want to pop in like a little, you know, fun game and play.
Mine would be was it Gods and Monsters?
Gods and Monsters, okay.
When I first saw the trailer, even though they didn't give you much, it definitely gave me the feel of like a Fabled / like Witcher feel.
Okay.
Like the whole adventure type, like you're like you create your own hero and you kind of like, you know, go through this world of like fighting these different mythical beasts and, you know, kind of just, you know, around the world getting, you know, famously known for, you know, defeating like a Hydra or a Griffin or something. Okay. And in Fabled, it was kind of, you know, the same way. You know, you fight these different monsters and different villains. And if you beat them, you know, you get a title and you get more well known in the world. Like you'll pass a player and they're like, oh, you're the one that defeated that bandit.
Okay.
Yeah, and so, you know, I feel like that's what they're going to do towards this game.
When I was hearing the narrator, when it said, when the guys are in trouble, they turn to you, I was like, what the heck can I do? Like, the guys are in trouble.
Like, what am I supposed to do? It's like, the guys are in trouble. Like, we just fricked, man. There ain't nothing we can do for that. So.
They were like, isn't that what Hercules is for?
Right. All right. Okay, so we're going to move on to the number 6 slot. That would be your slot, Mr. Hakeem.
My number 6 is Tales of Arise.
Okay. Cool. I'll see if I can find that somewhere. But I know I got it here somewhere. I thought I just saw it. There it is. All right.
Yeah, I think this game is from Bandai Namco Entertainment. Right when I saw this trailer for it, it reminded me of Soul Calibur. And I wouldn't be surprised if the people or the music composer who did Soul Calibur, the Soul Calibur game, did this game. Because it had that same feel to it. But what I noticed between this game and Soul Calibur, this game, I feel like the story mode is like more of an open world versus Soul Calibur. It wasn't. It was like a you go to a point on the map and then you go fight that person and have a little cutscene.
Right.
This one it is more open world. You may go to like different characters and talk to them and walk. You actually go through the journey of the story mode.
And this game is called Deathloop. And Deathloop, this game has all the feel of a Quentin Tarantino movie mixed with Edge of Tomorrow, mixed with Time Cop, and just throwing like I don't know, a little bit of like Looper in there or whatever. And I was just like, I saw this and I was just immediately intrigued, you know, just because I'm like, all right, you know, there's this one guy who's like trying to break the time loop. There's something going on. There's a war happening or something like that. One person's on top. One person, like one faction is on top. One faction is on the bottom. And I'm not sure who the hero is. I'm not sure if he's the good guy or I'm not sure if she's the good guy. And that's one of the intrigues of the trailer and everything. So, and I'm probably guessing that you're going to be able to play as either or. You know, you're either going to play as the girl who's doing such and such. You're going to play as the guy who's doing, you know, who's working for this faction or whatever. And they have to like, you know, like I said, it has that real that Looper vibe as well as Edge of Tomorrow, like, you know, with the time loops and kind of keep waking up and stuff like that. So I was really intrigued by that. And the fact that it's like, all right, one person's trying to break the time loop that's continuously occurring, and the other person's trying to make sure that the time loops. So it's almost like you got a little bit of Terminator in there as well, you know, because you got the one that's just like, all right, the machines are trying to make sure that this happens, or make sure that this doesn't happen, and the humans are trying to make sure that this does happen. So it's just like, you know, time paradoxes and stuff. So I'm interested to see what they do with it here, and hopefully it makes more sense than Endgame. And then, shots fired. And then, going on to number 4, that's your spot, Mr. Mojo Jojo.
I am looking forward to Watch Dogs Legion.
Nice. The reverse purge, as I called it.
Yes, very much so. What intrigued me about this game is that you are basically a character that recruits people within the world to kind of like form this like syndicate to go against the government.
Okay.
So like, and within the trailer it says, it could be anyone. So meaning like, you've got different NPCs that you can interact with in the world. Like, this one, it's, this 60 or 70-year-old, granny, but she's like a super assassin. And, I thought that was fun. And that's what I like about the game, because it literally can be anybody. Like, it could be a guy with like no legs, but like he's like he's like a stealth like sniper assassin or something. And just the fact that
he likes to be a sniper.
Like, and just being able to sit there and build a squad throughout the game. And I think what aspect I'm gonna like is that you go in as a team into a mission, and of course you're probably gonna lose like team members eventually. So you'll have to go out through the world and like build, continue to build on your team to go against the government. And I'm like, I'm not no means like anti-government or anything. I just find it as a very interesting game.
Yeah. It's like you said, it's got that ragtag team kind of feel.
Yeah, like special rogue agents. So hopefully it lives up to the hype so far.
Moving on to number 3. That's your spot, Mr. Hakeem. What you got here?
Yes, my number 3 is the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game.
All right.
Now I know it's it's being redundant, but
I didn't say anything yet.
I'm just gonna go ahead and clear that out. But I don't care.
And I'm wrong with that.
I mean, I know because there are some Dragon Ball games that have come out and I never, was really, excited for. Whether it been, the graphics, not really any story to it, just a fighting game. The only exception I would have for it is Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2. There wasn't really a story mode to it, but it was a pretty awesome game. This one, the reason why I have reaffirmed my excitement for this game is when I saw some of the gameplays for it.
Okay.
Goku going up against Frieza. The graphic was like super clean. It looked like a open world, full 360 degree, view type of thing going on. And what else? It kind of had that Dragon Ball Z Battle of Z game vibe to it, but a lot better.
Okay.
Graphics was done a whole lot better. There weren't any like dark lines to give you like the details of the muzzle or anything like that. No lines on it, but you can tell like it was well developed, very detailed. Like you knew what you was looking at, and I was like, yeah, I might get this game.
Okay.
I think the one thing I personally want to see with this game is like when you go search for the Dragon Balls, you go search for the Dragon Balls.
Right.
Meaning that, if it's like buried in the earth or something, you have to like blast it, a certain amount of times, or like, destroy like a certain amount of rocks to find it or whatever. Like not just like, okay, Dragon Balls over here, click X button.
Right,
there it is.
Right.
Like you want you to actually search for it or do missions where you're actually it's like hard to get that Dragon Ball.
Right,
like, a dinosaur like eats it and you're having to like chase it, throughout, the world.
Right. It's like you're actually doing the stuff that Goku was actually doing, but it's just like, yeah, you realize like, hey, it wasn't that easy. You know, like like little mini games and stuff. Like the mini games like that I actually kind of enjoyed from the very first Budokai game. Like they had like little mini stuff that you could do. They didn't really expand on it too much, and I was hoping they would kind of keep that going throughout the series, like give you a little bit more to do. But they just rather focus more on the fight, which is fine. I still enjoyed the fighting from those games and everything like that. But yeah, I want to see the world. I want to see not just the fighting and stuff like that. Fighting looks good. Like the graphics are clean, stuff like that. I want to see the world. I want to see like how immersive it is and everything. So moving on to number 2, and this took some time actually because I wasn't 100% on it, but just the fact that I have absolutely no idea what is going on in this game. And this game is called Ghostwire. And I don't have any clips for you guys to see just yet or anything like that. And we'll get into that later on in the segment. I'll have a clip for you from the trailer and stuff. But I saw this and I was just like, is this a game? Because I couldn't tell. Like, is this a game or is this real people? It was that clear, that that well done. I'm just like, I can't tell. But this game is absolute, just like, it's insane. Like the trailer is absolute insanity. And I know it's like paranormal stuff going on and everything like that. I know that's part of what's happening. But I just like, it's madness kind of done in a way that it's just like, I want to play this just to figure out what the hell is happening to people. Like people are disappearing, and there's this one archer guy that pops up out of nowhere, and like there's these Raiden people that I just showed on the screen a little bit ago.
That's exactly in my mind. I was like, remind me a lot of Raiden.
But it's just like whoever cut that trailer, man, kudos to you, because this could have been like a bomb in and of itself. It's could have been like, yeah, whatever. I don't understand what's happening here, and just move on. But it was cut in such a way that I was just like, man, I want to play this just to figure out what the heck's going on, because I'm that intrigued by it. And I'm a big story guy. So like, yeah, like a story, a compelling story, especially a mystery in a video game, whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm there. I'm 100% there. That's going to be the number 2 spot. And we're going down to the last one. And you probably guessed what that is. You probably guessed, but we're going to give it over to Mr. Mojo Jojo. What is number 1?
Who you going to call? The Avengers, baby.
I was just like, wait a minute.
Marvel Avengers. Yeah, see, I done messed all of America up on that. They're like, new Ghostbusters game?
Right?
Nah, Avengers, baby.
Yeah, I was like, well, why Avengers? Why Avengers?
Well, Marvel, back in, maybe 10 years ago, had like a set of, Marvel games. Like, they were having Marvel games come out for, each movie, but, they didn't do as well. Mm-hmm. So they left the games alone, played their, let their movies play out. Because, when Marvel was kind of starting up their company of, with everything we've had so far, there was definitely a lot of doubts on, are they even going to make it?
Right.
And after, 22 movies later, they're like, we made it.
Yep.
Might not have, made it on the best of note, but,
hey,
in within game, but after they realized, the movies were a big hit, they finally were able to, I guess, get together a story and push out their, video games. Because, for a long period of time, people were like, been saying like, why don't we have a Marvel video game with like the Avengers, and, you know, Spider-Man, and you know, Insomniac, you know, threw Spider-Man out there just to, you know, as a let's see what it's gonna do, and everybody responded in, you know, a positive way. Like I don't think I've heard very many negative comments on Spider-Man, and after it did so well, they're like, well, let's push, you know, Thor and Iron Man, and you know, we get the Avengers.
Okay, yeah, I've seen it. A lot of people have seen it and everything. Like, this was probably the one that. One of the trailers, besides I would say Final Fantasy VII, that got the biggest audience response. Like, you know, like I said, like we know, like they're told to applaud, and you know they're supposed to clap and at certain things and everything. But this one's the one, like, it felt organic. You know, like I said, Final Fantasy VII felt organic. This one felt organic. People were genuinely just like, yeah, you know, they were happy to see this and everything, especially after the success of Spider-Man. So.